Hello there, and welcome back to Twin Watt 777. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the shooting by ICE agents in that happened in Minneapolis on Wednesday, and we haven't identified the young lady. Her name was Renee Good, and she was a 37-year-old mother who was shot and killed by ICE agents on Wednesday in Minneapolis, like I said. So we're going to be watching a video and shout out to Roland as S. Martin. Okay, so I'm going to switch over here and we're going to go ahead and get right into the video.
An ICE agent has gunned someone down, this time in Minneapolis. It took place there with a confrontation with ICE officers. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, they literally tried to say that violent rioters weaponized a vehicle who attempted to run officers over. Folks, that's an absolute lie. This is the actual video of the shooting.
Okay, so before we get into the video, viewer discretion is advised.
You! Shame! 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 Dude, what's happening to her? What happened? Dude. Dude, you shot her! I'm trying to help! No! No! You fucking shot someone in the fucking face! You shot someone in the fucking face! Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Don't let the murderer leave! Don't let the murderer leave!
Is that him in that truck there?
Get to tell us what to do! Fucking criminals! Don't let him leave! Don't let him leave!
He's actually leaving? Oh.
No! Get the fuck out of my neighborhood!
Oh.
Yeah, it's a fucking crime! We fucking know it! We're here! Yeah, like what the absolute fuck, man? What the absolute fuck? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? Do you have a conscience? This is the time, man. This is the time to have a conscience. This is not okay. This is not okay. Get a fucking conscience.
Can you look at me? Tell me you're doing the right thing here. Get the fuck out of here, bro. You didn't fire any weapon. Fucking your people did that.
In the head. In the head.
I didn't do anything.
And she drove me to the floor.
Murderer. You. Look at me. Look at me. You can't even.
Watch out, man. Watch out.
Why don't you look at me? I thought you could do it. Do it. You know you're still doing
No, you're fine. You can stay here. If you move somewhere, just let me know. We'll get there.
You okay, mommy?
Now, folks, here's this video from another angle. Watch this.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood. Outdoor.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck? Dude, you did a murder for what?
Now, folks, Kristi Noem, who was the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, went on Fox News. This is what she said. This is how she described what took place in Minneapolis. You just saw the video. Here's what she said.
You asked about a shooting that we just had in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased. We're continuing to gather more information, but this goes to show the assaults that our ICE officers and our law enforcement are under every single day. These vehicle rammings are domestic acts of terrorism. We're working with the Department of Justice to prosecute them as such. We will continue to protect our ICE officers and in cooperation with other law enforcement agencies as well.
Folks, what you just heard was an absolute lie. So I want y'all to cue up the video, the first video we played, the 4.5-minute video. Okay. And so she said, this is what she said. She said, oh, the officers were trying to get the vehicle out of the snow. In fact, so before I do that, I'm gonna do this here. This is the actual tweet that the Department of Homeland Security also posted. Today, ICE officers in Minneapolis were conducting targeted operations when rioters began blocking ICE officers, and one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them. An act of domestic terrorism. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, the lives of his fellow law enforcement, and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training and saved his own life and that of his fellow officers. The alleged perpetrator was hit and is deceased. The ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. I want y'all to listen to that. This is the direct consequence of constant attacks and demonization of our officers by sanctuary politicians who fuel and encourage rampant assaults on our law enforcement, who are facing 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in death threats. This is an evolving situation, and we will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available. That's literally what they tweeted out. Okay, so this is what they tweeted. Then, of course, the liar in chief, Donald Trump, posted this on his Truth Social. I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer who seems to have shot her in self-defense.
She did not run her over. Do you see the lies here? The blatant lies.
Based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. Okay. And he said a whole bunch of other crap. All right. Now, play the video again. I want you to bring the audio down. And so when play the video where the car pulls up. Okay, stop right there. Pause it right there. Okay, let it go further. Pause it. Okay, right there, Kristi Noem lied. She literally said they were trying to dig themselves out of the snow. Y'all can see there's no snow on that street. The street had already been cleared. You see it right there. So that's an absolute lie that she told. Okay, now press play. They're approaching her car. Freeze it right here. Freeze it. Okay, they're approaching her car. The officer walks up and immediately tries to pull the car door open.
Exactly, and then
Press
he reached
play.
in the window.
Now freeze it right there. Now you already see she was already in reverse. Okay, you saw the brake lights. So she pulls back. Press play. Stop. Freeze it right there. So you have two officers. One officer in front of this guard. So this guy fires a shot. Okay, fires a shot. Press play. And fires more shots at her. Now look at the officer. He's walking. He's walking. Now, if you fast forward it, what you're going to see is maybe there's another angle. I think I'd seen it. It's another angle where the officer, he's walking back to his car. So Trump is lying. Noem is lying. The officers were not injured. They were not run over. It's flat out lies. Flat out lies.
Right, because Trump said that the officer was ran over, and it's like really a miracle that he's still alive. Come on now, he's walking down the street.
Now, here's what's even worse. Huffington Post has been given a video. Let me know if y'all have it. If you don't have it, please let me know. The folks at Huffington Post got a video where a doctor came on the scene, and they refused to allow the doctor to see the woman. They refused to allow it. In fact, it took 15 minutes before police would allow, before an ambulance arrived. They would not, because the ambulance was blocked because of police cars. So the paramedics had to run on foot to treat the woman. Yeah. That actually happened. And again, goes to show you what we're dealing with here. And
right, and then not only that, I believe the officer, he left the scene of the crime.
These folks have been lying. So immediately, conservative media and others, they jumped at it. Oh my God, they're attacking ICE. Nope, that's not what happened. We saw flat out exactly what happened and how this woman was murdered by the ICE agents. The reaction was quick. It was swift. The mayor of Minneapolis was absolutely angry. Here is Minneapolis Mayor Jake.
He was pretty livid. He was livid. And I think I saw a little bit of his news conference where he'd want those ICE agents out of his city. He told them to get the F out. And he called all this a bunch of BS.
Jacob Fry.
There's a lot of information that is swirling around right now, and we collectively are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense.
Mm-hmm.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. To the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now that's going to make you or your relatives or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you.
Right.
And it's also on you to leave.
Yeah, they need to leave. Let me interrupt just real quickly. Minneapolis, don't forget, this is also the city that George Floyd was also murdered right around the corner. So Minneapolis, they just now was hailing from the George Floyd murder. Now they have to go through this with the ICE agent that killed a mother.
It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done. We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now, and justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community. Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos.
And then, if I'm mistaken, they sent like over about 2,000 ICE agents into Minneapolis. Why did they send so many troops there in the first place?
Chaos and more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction. Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors. It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place. That's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now. If you're angry, I get it. I am too. If you're feeling that kind of despair, it's understandable. Let's show them who we can be. Let's show up with peace. To march, to protest, to hug one another, to love all the way with peace. Do not give them what they want. Finally, we've got a lot of work that needs to happen right now to make sure that, first, of course, the scene was secured as much as possible, that we were able to get the victim, now deceased, to the hospital. We've got a lot of work to do in the coming days. I want to thank our city enterprise for the work that they have done, but more importantly, what they're about to do, because this is going to be heavy and our city has been through a lot. We also know that we're prepared to do right for people.
All right, folks, this is how Minnesota Governor Tim Walz responded in his news conference after this murder.
This morning, we learned that an ICE officer shot and killed someone in Minneapolis. My deepest condolences to the family, to the loved ones who had to learn about this tragic event on national television. We have been warning for weeks that the Trump administration's dangerous, sensationalized operations are a threat to our public safety, that someone was going to get hurt. Just yesterday, I said exactly that. What we're seeing is the consequences of governance designed to generate fear, headlines, and conflict. It's governing by reality TV. And today that recklessness cost someone their life. I've reached out to Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I'm waiting to hear back. Let me be clear. Donald Trump and his administration may not care much about Minnesota. That's been pretty evident. But we love this state. We won't let them tear us apart. We'll not turn against each other. To Minnesotans, I say this. I feel your anger. I'm angry. They want a show. We can't give it to them. We cannot. If you protest and express your First Amendment rights, please do so peacefully, as you always do. We can't give them what they want. The hearts and minds of the people in this state are on our side. To Americans, I ask you this. Please stand with Minneapolis. To Minnesotans, know that our administration is going to stop at nothing to seek accountability and justice. The State Bureau of Criminal Apprehension are working on the investigation. We have activated the State Emergency Operations Center. State Patrol and Minnesota National Guard leadership is connected with the Minneapolis Police Department, the St. Paul Police Department, Hennepin County Sheriff's Office, the DNR, and Minnesota's Homeland Security and Emergency Management. We have activated dozens of members of the State Patrol's mobile response team. And from here on, I have a very simple message. We do not need any further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. There's nothing more important than Minnesotan safety. I've issued a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard. We have soldiers in training and prepared to be deployed if necessary. I remind you, a warning order is a heads up for folks. And these National Guard troops are our National Guard troops. They're teachers in your community, they're business owners, they're construction professionals. They are Minnesotans. Minnesota will not allow our community to be used as a prop in a national political fight. We will not take the bait.
Folks, again, just shocking and stunning, and the lies continue to come out of the White House as they try to cover all of this up. Our panel is Rebecca Carruthers, President, CEO, Fair Election Center out of D.C., Tyler McMillan, Social Justice Leader and Movement Strategist out of D.C., Joy Chaney, founder of Joy Strategies out of D.C. Rebecca, I'll start with you. I mean, it's just lies, pure and simple from Trump's White House. No shock, because he's a liar in chief.
Well, first, Happy New Year, Roland. So with talking with some folks on the ground and getting messages like on my phone, just getting, asking people, hey, what are you hearing on the ground? Especially to your point earlier, the stark contrast with what the administration is saying that is lies and very inaccurate. Even the idea that this person was protesting, as you can see in that video, and what I'm hearing from folks on the ground, that there is no reports that there was a formal protest that was happening. But even saying that this person was a domestic terrorist, once again, there's no, first of all, a domestic terrorist, there really isn't that designation by the federal government in this country, and they're not even able to prove it. So they're just saying words. What this reminds me of, I had a conversation with a colleague last year, and they said, look, we're in a slow moving civil war. It started at Charlottesville, and quite frankly, it's a war between white people versus white people, just like the last civil war that we had. And so what's interesting as a Black person observing and seeing what's happening is a white woman was killed today. And yes, they're trying to paint her as super liberal because also in that car was her wife, because this was a white woman who happened to be a lesbian. And the reason why I bring that is that we know this administration is going to try to other her. They're going to try to say she was extremely radicalized. They're going to say all sorts of things. And so I'm curious what white people are going to do in this country when they see one another being killed by this fascist regime.
We sat there and we watched Tylik as Trump and Noam lied, talking about the injuries. This is the officer who shot and killed this woman. Oh my God. How did he survive? It doesn't look like he's having serious issues with walking. Again,
No, he is definitely having no serious issues with walking. As a matter of fact, he got in his truck and took off. Wow. So I will put the link. If you want to watch the full video, I will put the link in my description. So I want to see something. Now, her name was Renee Good, 37-year-old mother. I'm seeing if I can find out a little bit more about her. Hold on, y'all. I gotta turn off my notifications on my phone. Then keep going off. All right, so yeah, I want to see if I can find out a little bit. Okay, a little bit more. I want to see if there is a picture of it, but we have to keep her family and her children because it says that she was a mother. So, all right, so let me just switch over here. I'm trying to put my phone on mute because it's just getting on my nerves. All right, so I'm going to switch over here And this is an article. Let me see. CBS News. Story by Emily May. Course here, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. Okay, what we know about Renee Good, the driver shot and killed by ICE agent. All right, so this is latest news on a deadly shooting involving ICE officer and Renee Good in Minneapolis. Let's see what this is saying here.
A shooting that happened yesterday. The FBI is investigating the incident that killed a 37-year-old woman. A warning, the video you're about to see is graphic. So here's what you're looking at. It shows the incident unfolding, ICE agents approaching the car, and then they open fire as she tries to drive away. There you see those officers approaching the car. As she attempts to drive away, there's an officer who's situated in front of that vehicle who fires those shots, killing Renee Good. The Trump administration says Renee Good was trying to run over that ICE officer who says fired at her in self-defense. Governor Tim Walz argues the mass deployment of federal agents has created the chaos that has led to her death. Of course, the shooting has sparked reaction all across the nation. CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Skanga has the details on the differing accounts.
Eyewitness video shows a red SUV surrounded by ICE agents in South Minneapolis. But as they ordered the driver to get out, she appears to reverse, then pull away, and an agent fires 3 shots. Seconds later, the SUV slams into a parked car.
What the
Minneapolis police say the victim was found with a gunshot wound to the head. She was later identified as 37-year-old Minneapolis
Okay, there
resident.
she is. There she is. So let's definitely keep her family in prayer. That's such sadness. The new year too. Wow, that officer definitely had intent. I mean, he stepped in front of the car, it looked like, and he seemed like he just immediately drawn his weapon. He didn't have any attempt to defuse the situation. All he had to do was just move out of the way and let the girl go through. What he had to shoot her for?
Renee Good, and pronounced dead at the hospital. Hundreds of demonstrators flooded the scene in response. And chaos erupted as people clashed with law enforcement who fired tear gas into the crowds packed along icy streets.
They're chasing ICE out. They launched like 4 or 5 canisters. A bunch of people got gas.
As federal and state investigators examined the deadly use of force and whether it was warranted.
She then proceeded to weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over.
Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem claimed the driver had been, quote, stalking agents all day and had perpetrated, quote, an act of domestic terrorism.
It's very clear that this individual was harassing and impeding law enforcement operations. Our officer followed his training, did exactly what he's been taught to do in that situation, and took actions to defend himself.
Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey had some choice words for the Trump administration's self-defense argument.
Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bull.
And he aimed this explicit order at federal immigration agents.
Get the out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
And if they don't pull out, more is going to happen.
We spoke to Minneapolis residents Lynette Rainey Grandel and Venus DeMars, who witnessed the deadly incident Wednesday. And took this video of officers approaching the vehicle moments before shooting the driver. DeMars called this a tipping point.
We just watched a murder by our government. This is America. Is this going to be our America now?
CBS News correspondent Usher Qureshi is joining me now live from Minneapolis. So, Usher, we saw protests yesterday. My guess is that there will be more today. The question, of course, is how is law enforcement preparing to handle the tension in the city?
Right. I mean, this is not a city that has not seen this before, so they have prepped for this for years, really, Vlad. And, you know, as you mentioned, it was very volatile last night. I was talking to our colleague Nicole Skenga, who you just heard from, who said that the frustration and the animosity that was seen on the streets here was not just between residents and protesters and law enforcement and these federal agents, but also with the media. There is frustration as well. It has been very quiet here this morning. Just up until the last few minutes, we started to see people starting to show up as the sun has come up. In the distance just behind me is a small memorial to Renee Good. There are candles, there are stuffed animals, and now we're starting to hear people who are very angry about what's going on here, and the police are at the ready. We've heard that they've asked for calm, obviously. That's something we keep hearing from them. And the police chief, Brian O'Hara, appealing to residents here in Minneapolis to do this calmly, not to obstruct roadways, not to throw items. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
This is a tragedy. I would hope, no matter what side of politics people are on, we can recognize that the loss of a human life is a tragedy, and that we do not want to compound that by having a situation which can result in destruction or further harm to this community, which has been through so much over the last 5 years. So we are calling for peace.
And Vlad, just so you know, I mean, this location, we're just blocks away from where George Floyd was killed. This is a neighborhood that has been reeling for years, and now they're contending with this latest incident with this shooting that occurred yesterday morning.
So, as you point out, Usher, this is a city and a state that's seen a devastating school shooting, a political assassination in recent months. How is the city trying to move forward? Can it move forward?
It's a great question. And again, you know, I was out here just a few months ago when that shooting occurred at the Annunciation Church and School. It's still raw. You still have people who are trying to heal from that particular incident. And I think that it feels a little bit different right now. I don't think we're at, obviously there is sadness, but there is a lot more anger and frustration at this point. And I think that the opposition to these ICE operations that have been taking place throughout the city over the last few days, that we've seen that increase of more than 2,000 federal agents here. The opposition to that operation is just growing and growing. And the question is, how volatile will this situation get? Obviously, we will be here to see what happens.
Yep, Usher, I know you will. Thank you very much. Appreciate your reporting. The Trump administration has been defending that ICE agent's action. Last night on the CBS Evening News, Tony Dokoupil pressed border czar Tom Homan about the use of force.
I'm not going to make a judgment call on one video when there's 100 videos out there. I wasn't on the scene. I'm not an officer that may have body cam video. I have not seen ICE act outside of policy. And if they are acting outside of policy, I'm not aware of it. There'll be an investigation. They'll be held accountable.
Okay. Wow. So that was border czar Tom Homan, and he denies ICE agent is acting out of policy. So I want to see what happened. I heard somewhere that he was let go, or let me see if I can find an ICE agent. Okay. Now what happened? I want to know what happened to him. What happened? Was he let go? Was he terminated? Okay, let me see. What happened to the ICE agent? Okay, so here we go. It says a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement ICE agent fatally shot a 37-year-old woman, Renee Nicole Good, during an operation in Minneapolis, Minnesota, leading to widespread protest and different accounts. So I want to know what happened to the officer. Okay. So they claim that he did act in self-defense. I don't see anything that said that they took any action against him. I heard somewhere that he was let go or something like that. I don't see. Okay, official accounts. ICE's position. Federal officials, including Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, claimed that the agent acted in self-defense, stating that Good attempted to ram her vehicle into the officers, which they characterized as an act of domestic terrorism. They asserted that the agent fired shots to protect themselves and others present. Now, local response, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey strongly disputed this characterization, labeling it as BS and calling the shooting reckless and unnecessary. He emphasized that the presence of ICE agents in the city was causing chaos and distrust among the community. Okay, so I don't see what any action was taken against him. ICE agent kills driver. What happened to the ICE agent? So I don't see any action that was taken against him as of yet. So let me look and see here. Okay, ICE agent involved. Okay. In the incident that resulted in the death. Why do these things keep popping up? Resulted in the death of driver in Minnesota. Has faced significant criticism. The incident occurred during an operation. Okay. Now this is just saying more of the same. So I don't see any update. And I don't see any update with any charges. I don't know if any charges going to be filed against him, or if he, even if he showed up for work the next day. I mean, he's still on the street. Lord forbid if he's out there rounding up immigrants. Man. Okay, so I don't see an update. All right, so here's a lab update. Okay, let's see what this say here. Okay. See what this is saying. I'm trying to put it in the box so I can see here. Try to make it bigger so we can. I can't get it any bigger than that. Okay, so I don't see anything. I don't see any update, so I'm just going to leave it here. All right, so yeah, that's about it. If I find an update, I will come back and do a follow-up video. So, like I said, remember, let's keep the family of this young lady in our prayer, and especially with her, pray for her children as well. So, yeah, this administration is really something else. I've never seen anything like it, and I hope I don't see anything like it again. So I will put the link to Roland's video in the description, and I'm gonna go ahead and end up because I don't want the video to be any longer than necessary. So I will see you in my next video. Be blessed, y'all.